Yes, tonight we're going to have quite an interactive session. Please just interrupt me at any time if you need to. I've got about three breaths kind of planned for us, but there it is, present. But please, if there's something you want to say, just say it at any time, or if something feels that you want to share, just feel free to share at any time. There's breath work. You do have to be careful. Everything I'm doing tonight is very, very gentle, but certain breath works are contraindicated health-wise. I've not picked any that are going to cause big problems or anything big to worry about, but at the same time, just listen to your own body. And if you're doing something and it doesn't feel like, you can stop at any time. You're in control of your breathing, you're in control of your body and your breath, so you can stop at any time. So we're going to start off, we'll just have a little calming breath just to welcome us into the session. And then I'm going to go through a little bit of the theory, not much about the theory, just 5 to 10 minutes, just it makes more sense of what's to follow and more sense of the breathing exercises if we do this. I'm not going to do the Sufi breathing and the square breathing, because they're quite energizing and I do want us to be able to go and have a good night's sleep after this. So, but I'm going to give Pauline a copy of the PowerPoint, and there's also, I've got some PDFs to give her as well, and they go through those breath works, and they're really good sort of in the morning or partly through the day. And then I'll finish off, we'll look at the 4-7-8 breath and humming and just have a little relaxation there to finish off with, and then it'll be time for us finishing off. Okay. So I just want us to start off, and this is something called coherent breathing, or it's sometimes called heart breathing as well. And it's just put a hand on part of your body. Lots of people like to have it on their chest. Some people like to have it on their belly. And just sitting up straight in their seat and feeling the seat underneath us. And all we're going to do is we're going to just watch how we're breathing. And then we're going to breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. It's as simple as that. If that feels awkward, you can count quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the aim is to just try and slow it down. Okay. Lots of prayers and religions around the world, when they have phrases to say, like the Ave Marias or the sort of Om Mani Padme Hums of the Buddhism and Hindu, showing up my lack of knowledge here. But a lot of the prayers that people say and repeat are about 5 seconds long, and they link in with this breath where you're breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. And so it's quite interesting how it's a bit of that religion and calming people down, and spiritual element has often taken on like forms for things that our body finds naturally nice and calming. Okay, so if you're just ready, just sitting up straight, lengthening the distance between our navel and our sternum, and just noticing how we're breathing just now. And you can keep your eyes open or you can have your eyes closed. It's really up to you. And just noticing the breath flowing in and flowing out. And just when you're ready, just breathing in for a count of 5 and breathing out for a count of 5. And just allowing the breath to flow in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going at your own pace and your own count. You don't have to keep count with me. Just allowing the breath to flow in for 5 and to flow out for 5. Just noticing the cool breath as it comes in and the warmer breath as it breathes out. And just inviting your body just to relax with each out breath. Maybe the shoulder blades relaxing down a bit. Maybe the jaw softening. We all breathe in together for a count of 5 and breathe out together for a count of 5. Bringing their attention just down to our feet, feeling the connection with the ground underneath. If the mind wanders, just bringing it back to the breath. And bringing their attention just down to our jaw and allowing the jaw to soften with each out breath. Bring their attention just to where our hands are. Breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. And then just allowing normal breath to pass through into the body. Opening up our eyes, and just giving our body a little bit of a shake. We need to. Okay. So that's just a coherent breathing, and it's very nice if you've got a group of people together, they're all breathing in synchronization. It's also a really nice calming breath. I sometimes find at lunchtimes when I'm naturally kind of drawn to do that breath as well, or if you're starting something new, just a few ins and outs of 5 in, 5 out, just a nice one. And as teachers, we've got to look after ourselves. And this is a comment from a book called The Oxygen Advantage. Patrick McEwen, he's very big in the breath world, and he trains a lot of Olympic athletes and some breath secrets to get them at their top performance. And when he's talking about it's people in these professions, school teachers and I think it was salespeople were the other one that mentioned, and it's just saying that they're often too aware of how tired they feel after a day of work. And the exhaustion that follows, he claims, isn't necessarily due to any mental or physical effort. Well, I would disagree with that bit with teachers, but however. But it's likely a result of the effects of elevated breathing levels during excessive talking. So no matter what job we're doing, we're in the classroom, we're talking, not just big groups of, whole classes, but also individuals in the staff room. When we're talking a lot, our breathing increases and we're not actually using that body, the oxygen that's coming in, and we cause a disturbance to the blood gases and reducing blood flow. So as teachers, we're prone to over-breathing. So that means that we're breathing in, yes, our oxygen, but we're also breathing out a lot of carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide used to be thought of as being a waste gas, but it's now, they think it's fundamental, having the right levels of carbon dioxide in the blood influences a whole heap of things. With our health. So I wonder, just in the chat box, if you'd like to, or unmute yourself if you'd prefer, just what do you think are the benefits of good breathing, or what do you think, or what brought you here tonight? And if you'd just like to put some things in the chat box, or say you're welcome to share if you would like. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes. It's always hard online to tell, but just a couple of minutes to put some things in. Yeah, definitely calming, absolutely. Yep, and remembering to do the breathing when things get busy. That's where it's tricky when you're busy. I'm sure I get in the car at night and I stop, I realise I haven't been breathing for all day. Definitely helps you focus as well, helps bring mental clarity to things. Yep, super ideas. Yep, thank you. Okay. Yeah, and caring for the voice, absolutely. We've only got one voice and we want to make sure that we look after that. So, okay, some of the ones that I've put down are, yep, stress, anxiety, panic attacks. So that's helping us to calm down. There's certain exercises that help people who have asthma and help them improve. The people in the breathwork world, they're really keen at how COVID's obviously been an illness which affects with their lungs. So there's a lot of research going on about that at the moment and breathing exercises to help people. I've already alluded to the better sleep one and the exercise. Yep, we mentioned focus, pain and mobility issues. And these are just some of them. There's heart disease and circulation, diabetes, epilepsy, dental health, female health. It's just a huge amount of resilience, just about anything you could think of to do with health. You can add breath benefits to it as well. So huge amount of health benefits by focusing on breathing. And number one, that if this is the only thing that you take away from this session, it really would encourage you to breathe through your nose at all times. And just even to just observe as you go through the day, when are you breathing through your nose? And when are you breathing through your mouth? Okay, and just, I hadn't been aware of how much of a mouth breather I'd been becoming. And do we even notice? Do we take any notice of it all? You could just put a Y or an N in the chat box to think if you even notice if you're breathing through the nose at all. And does anyone want to have a guess at some of the benefits of breathing through our nose? Okay, yep. So yep, someone's saying they don't even notice at all. You want to just have a guess? Some of them people might know from sort of biology lessons at school. Yeah, and smell and the sensory kind of things. Yep, absolutely. Well, absolutely huge amount. Again, and this is just not an exhaustive list. Here's just some of them going to be coming up. We've got oxygen levels as well. Yes, absolutely. If we breathe through our nose, our breath is going down deep into our body. So it's actually slowing down our breathing. Using the diaphragm more, it's better amounts of carbon dioxide. It's also, that's like a filter, all the hairs and all the structure of our nose actually cleans the air where it comes in. So if there's viruses and bacteria about, breathing through the nose is said to help there. Don't know how it works, but it means that the oxygen uptake into our blood is better. There's a gas called nitric oxide, which is found in the nasal cavities, and that all helps with this here. And again, whoa, it's coming back to sleep again, our better quality of sleep. And it's said to make her, because we're slowing down our breathing, because we're using the diaphragm more, it helps make us calmer. And I've just got a little picture here of these turbinates in our nose. And I'd never really thought about this before, but if we're breathing through the mouth, the breath just comes in here and it goes down, okay? But if we're breathing through the nose, it's the air, I think it's the structure is the air kind of spins around here, so it has time to collect nitric oxide, it's time to be filtered, it's time to be cleaned by the air in our nose before coming down here. And that's actually a big, huge gap. If you think from our nose across to our eyes and down the back, that is a huge, big area. And nature's designed us that way for some reason, the mouth for eating and the nose for breathing. And so if we're breathing through our mouth, we're missing out on this whole heap of benefits that nature decided. And there's some evidence at the moment about a big study was done of about 2,000 children. And 2,000 children who breathed through their mouth, and 2,000 children, or whether they were mouth breathers and nose breathers. And the children that were breathing through their mouth were found to have a far higher, it was about 25% increase in their special educational needs. So there's something fundamental. We as humans were designed to be breathing through our nose. And if we're breathing through our mouths, then there's just something interesting going on there. Another thing I want to look at with breathing is just how breathing fit that we are. And this is something called a controlled pause. or our Bolt score. Okay, so all we're going to do is I don't know if you can see me or not, I'm waving my hands around quite a bit, but all we're going to do is we're just going to breathe in and breathe out at a normal breathing rate. And then you're just going to stop breathing, hold your breath, and you're just going to mentally count. We're not going to do this scientifically accurately, but you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, until you feel the need to breathe again. And it's not a big, strong breath, not a, it's just, you'll be breathing just as you were before you held your breath. So you're just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, holding your breath until you get that first tingle that you want to breathe, this little waggle in your tummy or a little something in your throat, and then you breathe in and breathe out, and the breathing should just be as normal. And we're just going to measure in seconds how much that is, and I'd just like you to share that in the chat box with you. Okay, so just whenever you're ready, just normal breathing and then pausing, and then just put in your chat box once you've got your score in seconds. Okay. Thank you, guys. No, I don't think you'll be doing it wrong, Debbie, at all. Nope, that's your breathing score. That's your breathing score. Yeah. Well, that's really interesting. And I know we haven't done this sort of scientifically, and we've not sat down with a sort of stopwatch to measure it accurately here. But this comes from a Russian scientist called Buteyko, who worked with the Russian cosmonauts, and he's behind the Buteyko method. He suggests if your Bolt score or your well-controlled pause is less than 20 seconds, that indicates that you're breathing in the upper chest, breathing faster, higher breathing volume, and you may be prone to these sort of, you're not as fit and healthy as you could be. Healthy individuals are meant to have a score, a controlled pause of between 20 and 40 seconds, okay? So you're mostly fine, but you know, if you're in a stressful situation or something happens, or there is, you're not feeling great, you can get these symptoms again. And if it's greater than 40 seconds, well, that's okay. You're probably not going to have any symptoms. You're probably going to be all right. And it's really interesting to me because when I first started to do this about 6 months ago and I had a controlled pause, I thought, I'm fit and healthy, I'm great, I'm fine, I'm tired a lot, but I'm fine. And I had a controlled pause of about 8 seconds, but I've now got it up to it's almost about 20. So it is possible to change it and improve it. And I think if you asked a lot of your colleagues tomorrow, if you went into work and you're asking your colleagues, I think it would be interesting. And again, it builds in with that picture about teachers and over breathing. But we can change it. Takes a lot of effort, you know, it takes a bit of time, like any physical exercise, you know, you go to the gym to build up muscles and it doesn't happen overnight. And we can do something called breathing light, slow and deep. And we've done the slow one already, that coherent breathing, that breathing in for 5 and out for 5, that's nice and slow. I'd like us just now to have a little go at doing the light, slow and deep breathing. Okay, so this is just, well, this is sometimes called, with children, it's sometimes called like a little mouse breath, because you're the little mouse that doesn't want to be caught by the angry cat. Or it's ninja breath, I always like sneaking ninja, sneaking around, you don't want to be caught out. Or just, it's also known as feather breathing, imagining that you've got a little feather just stuck on your nose. And you're just going to breathe in and breathe out, and just again, just sit upright. So have a go. Just sitting upright. Okay, just feeling comfortable. And just trying to breathe as if you've got a feather on that nose. So you can feel the breath coming in cold and the breath going out warm. Just trying to slow that breathing right down. Or even if it's just faster breaths, they're just really light. Your tummy's not moving, your chest's not moving. And just silent, you're trying to get it so that you can't even hear the breath. Just totally super silent, super light. Cold breath coming in and the warm breath going out. And if it gets too much, if you don't like the sensation, then just breathe normally. That's fine. And just come back to it. Just try not to lose that feather. That feather's just there. And you're building up a sensation of air hunger. You might feel that you want to take in a deeper breath. And if it gets too much, that's fine. Take in a deeper breath. Just trying not to lose that feather again. Just having that feather on the end of the nose. So light, so silent that you're hardly breathing at all. And you can always put a finger under your nose. Raise the hand and put a finger under the nose. And can you feel the breath? And you're trying to breathe so lightly that you don't even feel that under the nose. Little light breaths in and little breaths out. And okay, we'll stop there. So all of these exercises, they do build up a feeling of sort of what we call air hunger. We're feeling where you want to take a deeper breath. And again, listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right, then just pause, stop, breathe normally, it's fine. The exercise is there in the next moment, or it's there another day. Okay. So that was Breathe Light. Anybody want to say anything? Just pop in the chat box if there's anything you want to share from doing that. If you find it easy or hard or just anything, just share back. Or if there's nothing, that's absolutely fine too. Breathing slow, like I said, that's where we're breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. We can also breathe deep as well. And this is if we just take our hands and put our hands on our ribs. Okay. Thanks for that, Peter. Yes, it is difficult to keep a rhythm, especially when we first start doing it and that feeling of air hunger if we're not used to it. Breathing deep. It's just our hands on our ribs. And we're trying to get our rib cage to move here. And putting our breath deep down into our belly. And this is, especially females amongst us, this is we're often told, you know, keep your belly in, or I don't want your belly going out. Well, our belly is designed to move when we breathe. And if we're doing that, then we're instantly putting ourselves at a disadvantage. Breathing deep, the diaphragm's really working hard. We're making the diaphragm work hard as we expand our lungs and expand the ribs to make room for our lungs. This is where our nose breathing is really good. Is if our nose isn't blocked up, we can take the breath right down deep into the belly and let it go. Ribs flaring out to the side. And if we put our hands on our back as well, you can maybe feel the rib cage widening at the back. Breathing deep. And you might feel the temperature changing. I can certainly feel myself get quite warm. The breath's coming deep down into the body. Rib cage is expanding to make the room. Making the diaphragm work really hard. So how did people find that one? Does anybody want to share anything about that one? I'll just give you a couple of minutes. You might have a drink of water while you're waiting if you want. Find it harder. That's interesting because I'm the other way around. I find the breathing light easier. Felt like work. Oh, sorry, making you work hard tonight. Energizing gym workout. Okay. Well, what we're doing with these exercises is, if you think about it, we're doing the opposite to what we do in stressful situations. If people are having an anxiety attack, or if they're stressed and they're panicked, thinking about it, breathing in the upper body, aren't they? Breathing fast, breathing shallowly, breathing noisily, and you can hear it. And that's putting the body under a lot of strain. So what we're doing with this light, slow and deep exercise is we're reversing that. Instead of that stressed, anxious in the upper body, we're bringing it down into the lower body. Instead of that fast action, we're slowing it down. Instead of it being that shallow, we're really getting the breath in. And instead of it being that noisy, horrible sound of not being able to get enough air in, we're breathing it down. And we're going to put it together, and we're going to do some light, slow, deep breathing all together. We'll probably do it for about 5 minutes. But what I would say about it is you'll probably find it quite hard to do it for 5 minutes. And yes, we want the body to have a sort of air hunger feeling. We want it to feel as if it can't quite get enough air. But it's got to be tolerable. We don't want it getting to the state that it's stressful, like, oh my goodness, I need air. We don't want to get to the state where we're feeling anxious about it. We don't want to get to the state where we're feeling panicky. And because perhaps it's the first time, I don't know if it's the first time people have done this breathing, I'm just, when if it gets uncomfortable, and you'll know yourself, when it gets uncomfortable, just stop, breathe normally for about 15 seconds, and then come back into it. And you can focus on the light bit, or you can focus on the deep bit, or you can focus on that slow bit where you're trying to breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5, and you could quite combine it together. And don't overthink it. That's the problem with breath work. And you're starting and exercises, you think, am I breathing deep enough? Am I breathing slow enough? Oh, it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to get into new habits of breathing and new ways of breathing. So any questions about it just before we start? So you can unmute, or just put in the chat box, or we're all good to go. Okay, right, good to go then. Okay. So again, we're just place your hands on your chest or tummy. It's always nice, feels safe to just have the hands on the body somewhere. And this breath should be very slow and very relaxed. Okay. And just feel your feet flat on the ground, your bum on your seat. Feel yourself gently being stretched up towards the ceiling. Okay. Eyes relaxed. You can have the eyes gently closed. Releasing the jaw, and jaw softening. And just noticing the normal flow of breath as we just breathe in and out. And just being curious about the breath. We're all just playing with the breath. And just observing colder air coming in and warmer air going out. And if any time our concentration wanders, we can just come back to the sensation in the nostrils of the breath coming in and the breath going out. And just gently slow down the speed of air as it comes into the body. And just remembering that mouth breathing. Breathing so light that if there was a feather placed on the end of the nose, we wouldn't even notice. Just breathe in and breathing out. Slow, gentle breaths in, light, gentle breaths out. Breathing in and breathing out. And just so light that the air and the hairs inside our nose hardly moving at all. The air's going deep down into our belly, the ribs are moving in and out. Slow, gentle, deep, light breaths in, and slow, gentle, light breaths out. And we don't need to hold our breath or interfere. If it gets too much, we can just stop at any time. And just relax at any time. You might start to feel as if you want to take a deeper breath in, you've got a bit of air hunger. If you start to feel too tense, your breathing muscles contract, then that's okay. Just stop, have a breath, break, breathe normally. You are completely in control of your breathing. So breathe in slow and gentle, slower and slower, lighter and lighter, deeper and deeper. And again, it's fine. That feeling of air hunger, all is fine. If you need to stop at any time, then that's okay. Just new habits of breathing, new light breathing, slow breathing, deep breathing. Beautiful big breaths. And that feather on the end of our nose doesn't need to move because our breath is so light. Slow breath. It can maybe even be slowed down even more. The ribs are working. Ribs are working beautifully. Breathing in and breathing out. And it's normal to feel that air hunger. And it's normal to rest a few times during the exercise. And if the mind wanders, it's just that cold breath gently coming in. Cold breath slowly coming in. And deep breath. Beautiful breaths. Nourishing breaths. Just letting us stop that breathing exercise now. Just breathing normally. Breath coming in and coming out. And maybe just notice, how does the body feel now? Does it feel warmer or colder? Does it feel a bit tense or a bit relaxed? Does it feel a bit buzzy, or does it feel just a bit flat? And there's nothing right, no right or wrong answer, but just observing, just noticing if we feel any different when we do the exercise after we've done the exercise. Okay. So everyone's still okay, everyone's still here. Okay, relaxed, yeah, nice one. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing that. It's great. And hopefully that didn't feel like too much too much work. Fingers crossed. Oops, sorry. And that exercise, that light, slow and deep breathing, that's what's made a difference to me to get my control pause from 8 up to about 15. And it's like everything. If you go to the gym 3 times a week, you're going to be super strong. The proponents of this exercise say you should do it maybe 20 minutes, 3 times a day. Well, I don't have an hour a day to spend on doing that. Don't know about you guys. But just every now and then I'll remember it. And just remembering bits of it, breathing light or breathing slow or breathing deep. Maybe in the supermarket queue, all right, you can do breathing exercises. Not sure I should propose this one, but driving home from work, I find myself doing this exercise sometimes. Like watching telly sometimes. It's just finding little snippets during the day when you can just breathe light, you can breathe slow, and you can breathe deep. And you're meant to do sort of 3 to 5 minutes, sort of 6 times, as I say, and throughout the day. And it's like everything, the more you do it, the more it'll improve your breathing. But realistically, everybody's busy lives, a lot of things happening. So hopefully you'll find that exercise really helpful. Helps to calm us down. And all those, when I was down at the, if we were feeling any of those, or it said to help out with things like that as well. Okay, so let's move on. I'm not going to do the next exercises, as I say. Sufi breathing is a really wonderful one, and there will be on the health and wellbeing page, I'm sure Pauline can sort it out for me, there will be a little fact sheet about it. It's just basically 3 breaths in, 3 or 4 breaths in, and a breath through the nose, and then a breath out through the mouth, and it goes a bit like this. And it's a really nice one to do first thing in the morning, or if you're feeling tired, or if you're feeling groggy. It's a really nice, energizing one. Get up, a bit of music on, dance around the kitchen. People might be familiar with this one, and it's meant to the square breathing, box breathing, where you imagine a square in front of you, and you just breathe in for 4, hold your breath for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold your breath for 4. So you're just following a cycle. And this is the one that sort of is taught to soldiers and the SAS and Navy SEAL people, just for mental clarity. And again, it's not a good one to do before going to bed, because it really does. I once did a workshop on it and I was buzzing at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's not a good one to do in the evening, but a nice lunchtime one. So there. But I don't want to focus on that because of the time of day it is. So just wanted to spend the last sort of 10 minutes on just this relaxing and unwinding. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the humming bee breath, but this one is said to be great for insomnia. A really, really nice one if anyone suffers going to sleep. I've done it with kids before in classrooms. They seem to really enjoy it as well. You can do it by putting your fingers in your ears and having the fingers across sort of the eyes to really sensory withdraw. And all you do is just a short breath in and you just hum out. Mm, mm, mm. And you just play around just for 5 minutes or so, and you just listen to your humming and you get lost in the vibrations of it. So that's a beautiful one. And I know this is that's a real sort of snapshot, but I'm not going to go into it in big detail because we just don't have time. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments and Debbie saying that box breathing actually helps you to sleep. That's really interesting because it's the opposite effect on you. So, but it's what works for you and what works for your bodies. Thank you for sharing. I do want to look at the 4-7-8 ratio because this is a really nice one if we're stressed and if we're anxious. It's a really nice one for calming us down. Anything where the exhale is longer than the inhale is activating the sympathetic nervous system, the sort of getting us to relax. So, and it's said to be another good one for helping us to sleep as well. So I thought it'd be a nice one to just sort of finish off with. Okay. And all you do is you breathe in for 4, you hold the breath for 7, and you breathe out for 8. And then you just repeat it. And again, you can count quicker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if you're having difficulty, if it's too much of a count. But generally, you adapt to your rhythm and your counting. And if holding the breath for 7 is too long, you don't have to. So I thought we'll build up for that and we'll give it a go to finish off with tonight. So that's okay with everybody. And see if anybody's got any questions so far. Everyone okay? Grand. Okay. So just again, final time tonight, getting yourself comfortable. Really noticing where you are in your seat, feet on the ground, bums on seats, and as if you've got a thread which is attaching you up to the ceiling. Lots and lots of space between your pelvis and your throat. And just noticing the natural curves of your spine. And just closing down your eyes if that feels okay with you. And just becoming to that familiar breath that we've been working with so much tonight. And just feel it coming in and flowing out. Imagine it coming up our body from our feet up to the top of our head, down the top of our head, down and out our feet. And just when you're ready, bringing a little bit of a count to it. Counting to 4 on the inhale and matching our count to the inhale. And breathing out for 4, just as we were doing before, just an equal ratio. Then breathing in for 4 Maybe out for 5 or 6, just lengthening the exhale. Breathing in for 4 and lengthening that exhale longer and longer until our exhale is twice as long as our inhale. We're breathing in for 3, we'll be breathing out for 6. We're breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 8. Just letting the breath flow up the body and the exhale, the breath flowing out of the body, out down into the ground. Breathing in for 4 and maybe, just maybe, holding our breath and then exhaling. So we mentally count in for 4, holding the breath, just counting, and then breathing out for 8. Breathing in for 4, and trying to count up to 7, and then breathing out for 8. But not getting too hooked up on the count. Just enjoying the flow of the breath, the inhale coming in, having a pause, the exhale twice as long as the inhale. Knowing that we are safe in this space, as the exhale takes us deeper and deeper into a relaxed state. Breathing in for 4, holding the breath, and breathing out for 8. And if we lose the count, then that's okay. Just coming back to that ratio of breathing in, holding the breath, breathing out for 8. Feeling gravity pulling the breath out of us, supporting us and helping us to relax. Breathe in, holding the breath, and breathing out. And any thoughts that come with us, you can just exhale them down to the earth as well, allowing them to be recycled by the earth. Breath flowing into our body. That's it. Very good. Breathing out. Knowing everything is perfect in this moment. Breath coming in. Holding the breath. Breathing out. Thinking of a positive emotion that we might want to breathe in. It might be love. We might want support. We might want peace. Taking this opportunity to breathe it in. And as we exhale out, exhaling it all around the body. And our bodies are clever. They know what they need in this moment. Breathing in. Lovely, gentle hold of the breath. And breathing out. Breathing in that support into the body. Breathing it all around the body. It goes deeper and deeper around our body and into every cell in our body. Breathing in, holding the breath, and breathing out. Allowing our thoughts and our emotions to just drift. The exhales wash away anything that's built up throughout the day, just taking it away. That long exhale taking us deeper and deeper into relaxation. inhale, bring in our positive emotions, positive thought, and spreading it around. There's nothing to do in this moment but breathe. And everything is fine. Just breathing in, holding the breath, and breathing out. That beautiful long exhale. That's it. Our body's being nourished with every breath. So just go with the flow of the breath. And just when you're ready, just return the breath to normal. Be aware of any sounds around about you. The sensation of the breath coming in and going out, cold breath coming in, the warm breath coming out. Just feel the chair underneath you and just give your body a little wiggle, maybe a wiggle of fingers, wiggle toes, and just come back to the Zoom room.